is the youth leader, depending on the relationship and the proximity they have with those persons. So we need to understand the importance of stakeholders engagement when we are providing local solutions to, you know, to the problems that community do face. The third item I have is bringing the global perspective to the solutions we are bringing. For instance, when we talk about, I shared the story now, when you talk about the global perspective to it, when we did the international youth, sorry, the international rural day of the rural women, yes, when we had that this thing, International Day of the Rural Women, yes, that's bringing global, like we are bringing local solutions to the people, but we are thinking globally. That is one of it. And then another part we should also look into is looking critically at the SDG goals. What are the SDG goals? No poverty, hunger, education, climate action, we have peace building, and so many of them. So how do we bring in this global perspective? But there's even another one for the African Union, even though sometimes call it regional, where they call it the Agenda 2063. The Agenda 2063, just like the SDG goals, seeks to bring in integration, unity, social heritage, and also a people-driven government. So that is what we should be bringing in when we are actually addressing some of these local solutions. The SDG goals will help us to know which need we are addressing. For instance, that of the problem I just mentioned could be tagged under climate action, because when you go into that community, you see that their water has been polluted, their their resources, in fact, the farming, the fishing they used to have as their occupation has been greatly affected by the oil exploration in that community. There's also another project when I did when I was back then in school, where we gathered as young people, which I was going to be addressing, like we can also adopt it. We realized that in a certain community or certain communities in Akwa State, that young people, teenagers, young girls are very, how do I don't know the words to use, but they fall victims to this. Okay, let me not call it victim, but there's high level teenage pregnancy in most communities in our Akwa State. If you go into the local areas, if you go into that place, you see that teenage mothers are more. And why is this problem so? It's because they are not open to the kind of conversations we used to have here. Nobody is there to talk to them. Nobody is there to advise them. Nobody is there to coach them. Nobody is there to tell them, if you do this, you are going to get this result. If you do that, you are going to get this result. So when they now get pregnant, one of the things they will now do is now to go out of school. That's why when you go online, they will tell you that out of school children in Akwa State is very high. How do they get these statistics? It's because they have actually seen or probably gone to these local government areas to see that most girls who are supposed to be in school are not in school. So how do you address such problem? One of those days we gathered and then we said that okay, we realized that outside the pregnancy these girls get, there's also complications when they are giving birth, and some of them also have diseases and all that which they overlook. So what we did was to foster collaboration with the Medical Women Association. What did they come to do? To educate these young girls, to have that one-on-one session which they could not have gotten if they were in their community. Most of these communities, most of these